Welcome to another segment of Logicalmgtow. I'm Logicalmgtow Spot. Um, Today is going to be a very important one. Hopefully, everybody who's a Mgtow member and possibly a future Mgtow member will watch this one because it's imperative that, and it's very paramount um, that you listen to this because it's been happening even before you future Mgtow. For some time now, even before and even during the fact that I became a Mgtow member, and since I've been a Mgtow member, there's been, shall we say, an off and on aspect and generalization of where many former and current Mgtow members have noticed this, and even and a number of former Mgtow members have done this, in which is they have questioned Mgtow, they've questioned the philosophy, they've even put references towards it, like the cookie cutter metaphor, like Duzangs has put forth, and many other Mgtow members have put their other aspects to it, or metaphors in that sense. Um, and it has come to my attention even by watching the many feminist movement little witches videos. They're noticing this. They're noticing the inadequacies that many Mgtow members have and are beginning to have. Be that, of course, the reason why of questioning the Mgtow philosophy and the manosphere itself. Um, Instead of being strong and proud, a strong and proud Mgtow member, going against the feminist movement of women who have done many men wrong, and trying to make sure and focusing on making to make sure that no man does himself in, even in the sense of Russian roulette. We've been kind of doing a little bit of that, but a moderately large percentage of, of questioning the Mgtow manosphere and its philosophy, and also basing the fact that we've been living it in our own way. Yes, we have been living it in our own way, but the more we question it, and I'm going to tell this to Duzangs too, the more we question it, that then without even noticing, we're showing a weak point. Therefore, also we're showing our hormones, metaphorically and psychologically, in wanting to. It's almost like we're wanting to go back to the plantation, even though we know it's not a safe space. Plantation is not a safe space. The and we've said many times of why the plantation currently is not a safe space, even when it comes to our well-being and our psychological and mental level of inequities and whatnot. Um, and when it comes to our financial base, the other aspect of it is that, and I know this is not the meaning of what Mr. Vicious, my friend and brother, has put out. The fact that it's been even heavily advertised now that the Me Too movement is still wanting men to join their their, shall we say, grouping. But yet, it, we Mgtow members should be more than aware and knowledgeable in the fact that if we did, like many teenage males have, and one of which has made it more than apparent by wearing a feminist T-shirt on one of his videos that he made about a year and a half ago or so. Um, the one thing is that we'll be showing the fact that we don't want to be separate from the female, and um, we don't want to go our own way. We don't want to be self-sufficient, self-assured, logically strong, metaphorically, and also physically strong, mentally strong, intellectually strong, and strong within ourselves. We want to be broken down, obviously, by going into the inventation of the Me Too movement or the feminist movement. And it's been said that by Mr. Hipvicious that we are us Mgtow members are welcome. Granted, if we do go into that, then then it's like we're repeating the same thing happening to us while we were in relationships with the feminist female. And but yet they would do it more intently, more deep, much more deeply, because it'd be just versus just a one, it's a whole grouping, and one person cannot always fully handle the whole entire grouping of women, tearing them down, even psychologically, emotionally, and what have you else, and even internally, as well as mentally, and thereby goes to the aspect where the guy ends up wanting to do the Russian roulette. We don't want that as Mgtow. And with that, the more we question it, and the more we even bring that up, then the more we bring up the fact that the whole Mgtow members are welcome to be in the Me Too movement. We don't want that. That shows a base of weakness. That shows a base of, shall we say, oh, here's an open sore to the feminist. That's exactly it, right there, an open wound in of the Mgtow manosphere and the philosophy. We don't want to show that to be apparent. We don't want that to be shown to be very, very obvious. And even the cookie cutter metaphor, Duzangs, that also shows a bit of weakness. Uh, so we can question it, but let's do it in the sense that where it's not televised to where everybody else can see it. It needs to be only shown to where we Mgtow members are just in, shall we say, discussion of such. That way, there's no worry or risk of the feminist movement bitches um, going to the points of saying, "Oh, look, we can attack this point of Mgtow, this spot of Mgtow, the weak point right here," as they keep on going against each other, as they keep on questioning their own philosophy, as they keep on questioning various other things, and as they keep on doing various metaphors like the cookie cutter and various other things, and questioning their objectives and such like that. Mm-hmm. And anything else to that point, they will use. They will see the feminist and Me Too movement. Little bitches will see as a weak point. Thereby, Mgtow has been targeted by not only Mgtow haters, but also feminist Me Too movement bitches. And we don't want to show any weakness or lack of self confidence within ourselves or anything negative. There's a long list of that shit. Trust me on that. So the basic fact is that we need to do the positive and live the Mgtow way and live the philosophy the best way we know how, the best way we understand it, even if we find out new things of the base of understanding when it comes to the Mgtow philosophy and its and the meaning and whatnot else that we can also put in and install within the way we've been living the Mgtow way, the Mgtow philosophy in our own levels of understanding, and let's not question it anymore in the way that Duzangs did, for example. And let's not bring up the the aspect of the invitation from the Me Too movement, feminist little bitches, because basically, if we keep doing that, then we'll be weeding out the weak Mgtow that we can help the build back up to be stronger than they may currently be. To instead, and if we don't notice this, then those ones that get a level of weakness will eventually go right over to that invitation of going into the Me Too movement. We don't want that because eventually, like I said, it'll lead the male to a Russian roulette aspect. And that's one of many things that even myself, as well as Mr. Hey Vicious, have been mentioning. We've been saving lives, and that's part of what MGTOW is about. It, besides if its own philosophy, and besides of not cohabitating with women, and besides various other things that go to the points of building ourselves back up, even in the mental, psychological, and emotional ways. There's other aspects within ourselves that we need to build up, even after dealing with the feminist little bitches that we've dealt with in our past and in our lifetime in general. So let's not show any weakness. Let's not question the Mgtow philosophy. Let's not question the Mgtow manosphere on any level because that could easily show to the feminist movement and the Me Too movement weakness. Let's not bash each other. Let's not go against each other. Let's not do anything. I'm not going against any of the Mgtow brothers. I'm just placing. I'm sending out an actuality because it's a very concerning thing. Because in order for us to win over the illogical actions and doings of and the sinful actions, what have you, of the feminist female, we need to stay strong. We need to stay self-assured. We need to stay self-confident. We need to stay without any weakness. And if there is any weakness, we can help each other to build each other back up emotionally, psychologically, and whatnot else. Even I can help many of you, Mgtow members, and future Mgtow members, because I know the base of psychology, and I know the male-female psyche. Um, Thereby, I have a page known as Logical Psychiatry, um, along with the aspect, of course, logical Mgtow. But anyway, the fact of it is that I hope you guys take this into more than consideration and take it seriously because this can be to the more than detriment to the philosophy and the many members and grouping of Mgtow, even Mgtow in its face value. We need to stay strong. We need to stay self confident. We need to stay emotionally strong, mentally strong, and psychologically strong, and self assured, and even reassured is okay too. And we need to stay away from any weakness and any questioning and any shall we say hatred or dislike for about the way any of us put out the our own understandings and beliefs of the Mgtow philosophy, even if we may not agree with it. That's okay, but we need to support each other. Still, seriously. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and I will do my best to possibly make it a part two on this. If I have any questions that I even go to the point of making a part two of this video. and which basically is Mgtow being targeted. And yes, Mgtow has been targeted many, many times, even by the Mgtow haters and the feminists and Me Too movement little bitches, and questioning and judging in the wrongful aspects. And there's been many aspects of the feminist women on YouTube, especially, as well as BitChute, questioning Mgtow and making their own selfish or self aspect analysts analyzing of judgment against Mgtow and against us men of why we don't want to marry anymore and various other things, and yet they sin by doing that. Any feminist movement little bitch who who makes any fast or illogical judgment continuously about men, even those who are not in Mgtow quite yet, will undoubtedly go to the pits of hell. The more women that are with men continuously cheat on us men, our gender, will lead themselves to the pits of hell. Because I've said many times, the women who monkey branch in the sense of cheating on our gender to try to get what they want on their timeline, when it's basically not logical and not realistic to do, but yet they still do it anyways. They monkey branch to see if they can get it from another guy, and thereby they sin by doing this, especially even if they are married to the male. And with that, they don't think that they have to repent for cheating, and they expect us men to forgive them. We don't need to forgive them. Don't forgive any woman for doing you wrong, especially when it comes to the base of adultery, known as cheating. And in any other way that the women do us wrong, we cannot go to the points of simping and being subservient to the points of forgiving them for sinning, even in a mortal spiritual way. And we can easily just leave them and say, "Fuck you, bye bye. You fucked me. You fucked it up. I didn't fuck it up. Whatnot else," and just leave the bitch. The basic fact is that women expect us to forgive them, but when we've done it in the past, when our genders cheated on women in the past, what they've done is slapped us and walked away, or shoved us and walked away. And at times there were times to where they would come back to us and then try to repeat the thing as a revenge aspect, basically. But the one thing is that even if she cheats on you, and even if the guy cheats on her, repeating the same action and the revenge aspect doesn't solve a thing. It doesn't solve a thing. Plus you're going down the same pathway of sin, and the pathway of leading yourself to the base of hell's pit, as much as she is, by thinking that she's automatically forgiven even after the first or second time or third time. And it doesn't matter how many times she does it, even if she repents even after the first time, and if she continues, her soul will lead her to hell's pit. She will not go to what my church believes, where women have it easier than men to go to the pearly gates of heaven. But the one thing is that if women keep on thinking that they can repent one time or zero times and still cheat, and they're still forgiven for doing the sinful actions, they're going to find out it doesn't work that way in spiritual reality as well as reality in general. And once you repent, you cannot repeat the same sin again, no matter what and no matter how long it's been. And even after you repent the first time and say you or her stop doing it for a certain length of time, then you start it up again. Once you start it up again and you repent, and even if you do repent, it's going to take most of your life till he forgives you, because the more you repent, then you repeat the shit, and this goes for the feminist females too. The more you repent and repeat the same negative sinful things or any other negative sinful thing, you will not be forgiven like that. Uh-uh. And yes, women have been known to be the weaker gender for many years, for many centuries. Even as they try to build themselves up with the feminist and Me Too movement, which is basically metaphorically tearing them down logically. The only one that built themselves up is the ERA, the 1970s feminist movement. Yet they don't want to. They don't want to just be thankful and grateful for that. Obviously, that's why the feminist movement of today is around. Thereby, also what the feminist females do not realize is that they're being torn down, brainwashed by their own genders, and because those same genders that are brainwashing the women have a definite hatred towards men. Thereby, also they've turned lesbian in many aspects. Basically, they're sinning in their own general way and whatnot. So, generally, women, as we know it, are leading themselves to hell's pit. We don't want to. We don't want to be around the woman as they try to make us subservient, as they try to bleed us dry, even with our resources and our accounts, our basic financial base. We don't want that, do we? So basically, it's better to stay Mgtow. Don't question it. Don't have any hatred or attacks towards the other Mgtow members. We need to support each other. We need to welcome those who come into Mgtow. We need to do all things that are positive, spiritually and otherwise, and morally. We need to do all this, and we need to quit re-generalizing or re-guessing of what Mgtow may be in the philosophy may be, because that also can show an open wound of weakness. We don't want that. So don't question Mgtow and its philosophy, and don't question our fellow male members. We need to support, and no more saying that Me Too movement is allowing Mgtow members to join. We don't want that either, because we don't want the ones that eventually become weak to go into that aspect, which basically where the guy would eventually do this with a gun or this with a knife. We don't want that. We're trying to keep men from doing all that. So again, we already know that the Me Too movement wants us guys to be with them. That way, they can tear us down more so than they did while in relationships with a woman. We don't want that. We need to stay strong, stay self-assured, stay self-confident, stay every positive, logical, emotional, psychological thing that there is and there will ever be. And that also goes with the base of supporting our gender, and starting with our members and our new members and helping them through even psychologically, and I can help as well. So do things. Do not mention the cookie cutter thing anymore, and do not question Mgtow, because it's not really helping the Mgtow manosphere. Do not and many others who claim to be Mgtow and say that they are Mgtow need to also quit justifying if Mgtow is what it claims to be, because that also shows a base of weakness on our part. It is true by the aspect of saying that in order to know if we want to go a certain way, like the Mgtow way, for example, we need to really ask ourselves things, right? Or if we really want to go in a relationship with a little sinful little bitch, we need to question things, especially even if we haven't fully known if what we hear that the woman has been unfaithful, totally unfaithful to the other friend of ours. Because there's been many other aspects to where, while not in the Mgtow aspect, and while not being part of the Mgtow philosophy and manosphere, many men have gone to the points to where they've seen the woman do their friend wrong, and then the woman tries to get with their friend's friend, being you or whoever, right? The basic fact is that the woman would essentially do the same thing to you, but in a later time, because she may see some strength and self confidence in you, and she may want to try to gradually tear that apart, and we don't want that. So basically, it's better to stay Mgtow. And the way to stay Mgtow, quit questioning it, quit putting metaphorical aspects of like the cookie cutter or anything else for that matter, whatever it may be, and quit even, and basically you're questioning yourself. You're showing self doubt by doing that. And if you want to talk to me, hey, I'm more than open to talk, and we can talk to however long. But the basic fact is that I'm being honest here, and I'm showing major concern. We need to be the better gender. We are the better gender in other aspects, especially when it comes to with the society's aspect and viewing. But we need to show that we can do without as many women claim that they can do without us men, but yet they turn around and want us men back to the points to where they think they can get at our resources. That's all they want. So because they think that they can get at our resources and live off of our resources, but yet what we're but yet don't really give a damn if we struggle, as a percentage of our resources goes to them. We don't need that. We don't want that either. So really, I'm here to talk. I'm here to help you guys out. So let me know. Okay, this is Logical Mgtow Spot to all Mgtow and future Mgtow members. Please stay strong. Please stay self assured, self confident, and never doubt yourself, and never have any falsehoods about or even within yourself. And stay strong. Make tough for life.